It's Tim Walker with the Training Force Network, and I'm here with CaliTrlolz from Team 8. So first I want to ask about that game specifically. Were there any plays that sort of stuck out as spectacular or that you kind of felt bad about or that sort of thing?
I mean, we had a really good early game with me roaming top and then doing a 4-man dive, and we got 3 kills and a tower, which should be like a really huge lead that we were able to snowball within it, but with the vision control and everything. However, we threw it once in the minute, getting caught, and then the whole thing kind of turned up even for us. However, I think that was like a really big step that we needed to take to be able to snowball our late game comp, which had Nunu with Jinx and Azir, like 2 hyper carries that's really based on attack speed, scaling up really hard, and like just having frontline Hecarim and Ekko. They had 1 AP, which was Ekko, and it's really easy for me to itemize because I could just build full armor and some HP with the Cinder Hulk, and just hope that my HP could cut out his magic damage. If he does go for a single target on me, it's just gonna mean that our carries are in the backline are safe. So I had a really easy time itemizing against that team.
All right. And switching gears a little bit, you guys have a new player. You guys have a new coach. How is the team environment going as far as that?
Team environment, it really hasn't changed a lot. However, we definitely became more regimented with the new coach. The main reason why we got a history teacher for our coach is we thought that I thought he was older. looking at his stream, I thought it was like 30 or something, but he's actually at my age, 24. He looks quite old. Don't take that offensive, Chad. He's really vocal, so he allows us to be more on track with our scrim more seriously, and also be on track with when we sleep and how we do our practice. So there's always a difference between really focused and serious practice in scrim or solo queue. With him being in the team, it's less childing around and just watching like random stuff while like playing solo queue. Like, for example, the biggest problem is from Slushi, our mid laner. I think he has attention disorder. He's like, he does like everything. He has to do like 3 things at a time. Mm-hmm. So he does like Skype, Facebook messaging, and then League solo queue at the same time, like every time. So it's like it's kind of boggles my mind. Like he does it every time, and Chad kind of cuts that off. So I think it's biggest improvement in terms of also our mid laner, our cute Slushi. Mm-hmm. So, and Nian is a really good addition to the team, not only for his skills, but also his personality. He's a lot more vocal, and he puts in a lot of thought, and he gives his input while we're reviewing our scrim games. So analytical wise and how to focus on what to improve on as a team, he has a lot of input into it, and it improves the whole team. Downside, maybe it might get a little bit more like more argument, but I think that's really necessary because it's not argument because you're right and you're wrong and I'm right. It's rather more let's get our team 5 men to have the same idea when it comes to actual stage games or any other games that we'll be coming up for.
Right. So today you guys played into Ekko, and you mentioned earlier that you were able to itemize basically armor because they played Ekko. Now, obviously Ekko is really strong in solo queue.
Yes.
How do you feel he plays in like a competitive team environment?
Right now, teams are still experimenting. They're not sure if Ekko is ban-worthy or not, but definitely in solo queue, if he's played correctly, he's really top tier. He does like tons of like crap loads of damage and like just balance. It's one of those champions that you stay balanced after you die with your gray screen like balanced. and like he has like 2.5 seconds stun. If you play correctly, it's really hard to get, but still like I think one of the reasons why we got caught off guard mid early game after we got the lead when we were sieging mid first was Ekko's 2.5 second stun that we didn't expect at all, and that threw us off entirely because we didn't really know how to deal with Ekko. We didn't get to play too much, maybe like a game or two against Ekko in the scrims, but it was like jungle Ekko, top lane Ekko, so everyone's like still experimenting whether like we won't know right now if Ekko's pick is gonna go mid, top, or jungle. Probably not support or AD carry. So it's really interesting pick, and I think there's a lot of versatility with it's also like the downside is the players themselves won't have enough experience on the champion to be able to have the highest potential on the champion. However, it also means that the opponent players won't have the knowledge to know how to deal with it well. Unless you played the certain champion like 10 to 20 games, I think, you won't know what their weaknesses is. Like an example.
And you mean like 10 to 20 games as far as competitive play, that sort of thing?
I think like just looking at the champion spotlight doesn't necessarily make you know the champion at all. It's just getting a gist of like what they do. But I think you really have to play out the champion to know what their weaknesses is. Not, if you hate Riven, try playing Riven and see what their weaknesses is. And I think that's what I tend to do. If I get wrecked, I try to play out the champion and see. They must like if it's not banned 100% of the time, like in solo queue or like in competitive, it's probably not like broken, but sometimes you feel really frustrated when you play against those champions that you don't really know about well, and you don't know their weaknesses because you never played it. Like an example would be Rumble. Like I didn't know how to deal with it until I actually played Rumble. So I suggest if you guys are frustrated with certain matchups, try to play the other champion on the other side, and you will know what their weakness is, because right now is pretty balanced throughout, except for Rise. I say, Rise is just like dumb champion. I want it like perma. It's like casted up top now, like the cancerous. I don't want to play it because it makes me feel really dirty. It's like no skill, literally.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we had for you. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.